Hey guys, let's pick up where we ended yesterday. There's some questions that we didn't do yesterday. Those are the questions that we are going to discuss on this live because I'll be dropping anytime soon. I want so I can go and watch the match. So we ended on question number 19. You remind me? Because yeah, we did functions, so we just pick it up here. Question number 20. Okay. Question number 20 is our next question. It's underbearing. So let me just quickly copy the question, the diagram. I copy the diagram so that we can move together. Okay. So the diagram is like this. We have the true north. Okay. What else? We have something like this. Then we have that. Excuse me. We have that. And we have that. Then what else? We have A here, B there, C there. And then it's showing that AC is equal in length as BC. Okay? Then after that, ladies and gentlemen, we have 46 inside. 46 degrees. Right? Then we have a true north. So this is the question I'm referring to. So every time you are finding bearing, okay, make sure you extend your true north. Extend your true north, it will be so easy for you to work it out. Hi, beauty. All right, you extend your true north. So now this can be extended like this. Da, da, da. Okay. And this one right here, there's another true north, which of course can be extended as pa, pa, pa. Then the other one is right here. True north. Okay, then we say dot, dot, dot. Now, why are we doing that? It will help us to easily solve our bearing, because the first one is saying we should find the bearing of A from C. A from C. That's our first question. We should find the bearing of A from C. Where is it coming from? It's coming from C going to A. So in other words, we are interested in finding the entire this or that. Okay? So what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do is first thing first, find this angle inside. Because now if E length and that are equal, if SC is equal to BC in length, that means this angle is also equal to that angle. So if we have 46 there, that means also 46 here. And you should also understand that interior angles add up to 180. So we're going to say 46 plus 46, we get 92. All right. Then if this 92, we subtract 180 because interior angle adds up to 180. So if you have 46 plus 46 is 92. So we'll say 180 minus 92. What are we going to get? We'll get 88. Now that we have found 88, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that we do, we know that this angle is in 88. Then the cutting I used, when we came up with that line, we divided that angle into two equal halves. Okay, meaning now we have a 44 degrees right here and a 44 degrees right there, making it 88 degrees. Okay, so if this line is a straight line, adds up to 180, then we only know this 44 part. What do you think would be this angle? Okay, because we only know this is 88. What about this remaining angle? So this remaining angle, we are going to use 180 minus 44, which will give us what? 136. So we have 136 as an angle here, 136 degrees plus 88. That's the angle in question. 180, okay, 180 plus 180 straight line plus 44, or we can simply say 136 plus the 88 was to find the same answer. 136 plus 88 or 180 plus 44. No, this is when we are continuing. In fact, you are not that late, Chanda. So 180 plus 44, and I even came early because I want to watch the match. 180 plus 44, we have 0 plus 4 is 4, 8 plus 4 is 12, 2 remainder 1. 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 1, 2. So our answer will be 224 degrees. Our bearing of A from C will be 224 degrees. 21 hours. Tomorrow is 21 hours. Today I just came early because I want to watch the match against Morocco. The next question, it's C from B. C from B. C from where? From B. So we need this angle. Okay, let me use the different marker. Okay, so we need this one, E. That's the angle in question, C from B. So if we know this angle, which is here, okay, we'll subtract from 360. What will remain is the answer. Because if we include that angle, that means you're going to have a complete turn, a complete circle. So we're going to say 360 minus this angle, and this angle, due to that transversal, this angle is equal to that. So if there is 44, so is that angle. All right, so now we're going to say 160 minus 44. Again, we're going to get to 316. 316. Help me tap the screen, guys. Help me tap the screen. Help me tap the screen. Help me tap the screen. Nela, you're welcome. Sianda, you're welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So that's how we solve such a question. That's how we go about such. All right, the next question. Question number 21. Question number 21, it's under linear programming. Hi, Tommy. It's under linear programming. Question number 21, it's under linear programming in paper 1, where it's saying, write 4 inequalities. Okay, 4 inequalities that defines the unshaded region are in the diagram below. So the unshaded region. Okay, so we'll use these lines. So I'll start with the lines that passes through one point. Okay, I'll start with the lines that passes through one axis. Like this line here, I'll start with this one. I'll start with that. It's passing at -2 in the x-axis. It's passing at -2 in the x-axis. So if it's in the x-axis, we have x, all right, it's at -2. Now, how did they shade? Look at the shading. They shaded the lesser part of x. Because the positive side, that's the greater part. Always your right side is greater than the left side. Okay? So, since they have shaded the less part of x, we're going to say x is less or equal to negative 2. X is less or equal to negative 2. Hold on. Let me just start again. I was carried away by the lesser part. Now listen. This line is passing at negative 2 in the x-axis, right? This line. This is the x-axis, y-axis. It's cutting at negative 2 in the x-axis. So our x, all right, then negative 2. They have shaded the less part. They have shaded the less part. They have shaded the less part. So our unshaded is in the greater part. Our unshaded is in the greater part. So our x is actually greater or equal to negative 2. Because we need to write inequalities that define the unshaded region, not the shaded region, unshaded region. So we need where they didn't shade. Okay, so where they didn't shade is the greater part of x. You have seen that, right? Nice. Then we have this line. It's dotted though. It's a dotted line, this one. We have a dotted line. So now this dotted line is passing at positive 2 on the y-axis. This dotted line is different from this other line. In fact, it's the only different line among the 3 lines, among the 4 lines. It's the only one which is different. So it's passing the y-axis at 2. So it's in the y where at 2. But how did they shade? They shaded the down part. So the down part is the less part. The up part is the greater part. This is why we have 2, 6. 6 is greater than 2. Okay, so they shaded the down part, meaning that our answer is in the greater. So our y is greater than 2. Now, because our line is dotted, we are not going to put equal. Because the line is in dotted. We're not going to put this line here. Okay? Then the other one here is passing at 4. You have seen this line is passing at what? 4. There's no any other axis that it touches. It's passing at 4. All right? So where in the x-axis? It's passing at 4 in the x-axis. So we say x, it's where? At 4. And how did they shade? They shaded the greater part of x. Remember I said right is greater. So they shaded the greater. So we need the less part. So our x will be less or equal to 4. Our x will be less or equal to 4. Then we are done with the lines that are passing through 1 point. The next one is passing through 2 points. It's passing at 8 in the x-axis. It's also passing at 6 on the y-axis. So it's passing through 2 points. These ones were just passing through one axis. This one is passing the x-axis and the y-axis. So here at the x-axis, all right, our y is 0. So it will be 80,0 here. Then there on the y-axis, our x is 0. So it will be 0,6. That's how we get the coordinates. Okay? It is 8,0 because it's in the x-axis. It is in 0,6 because it's in the y-axis. Chembe, tomorrow it's 21 hours. 21 hours. Today I came early because of this. But I'm only doing few questions. Right? Only few questions. Then I'll end the live. So only few questions. So now, what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to find the equation of that line. Okay? We need to find the equation of that line. So first thing first, we're going to use these 2 points to determine the gradient. We use these 2 points to find the gradient first, the steepness or the slopeness of the line. All right? So we say gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this will be my x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So now say gradient is equal to, what is y2? It is 6. y1, it's 0. x2 is 0 minus x1 is 8. So remember we are finding gradient, so now say gradient is equal to 6 minus 0, positive 6, over 8 minus 0 minus 8 is negative 8. So gradient is equal to positive divided by negative is negative. 2 into 6 is 3. 2 into 8 is 4. So our gradient is negative 3 over 4. Now that we have found the gradient, we now use the equation of the line. How? We are going to say y minus y1 equal to gradient, open bracket, x minus x1. This one now will help us because that gradient we needed to find that. This y1 and x1 can be gotten from any of the coordinates. All right, we can get any coordinate. So preferably, I'm going to get the one that start x is 0 to make my work easy. So I'll pick 0.6. So I'll say where there is y, what am I putting? 6 equals gradient is negative 3 over 4 x. Where there is x1, I'll put 0. So that now, or better still, it would have been walkover if I used that one. But it's either way. I'll use both so that you see that either point you pick, you get the same equation. So we have y minus 6 is equal to negative 3 over 4 times x. It is negative 3 over 4 x. Negative 3 over 4 times 0, it's 0. Then this going that side, it will be y is equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 6. This is the equation we need. Now, we need that equation, but we're talking about the inequality. So we're not going to use equals. Instead, we look at how they shaded this. So they shaded the up part, the greater part of y. That makes our y to be less than, less or equal. They shaded the greater part, so we need the less part. Remember, it's unshaded. So the fourth inequality to be y is less or equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 6. Those who are in my group, don't worry, I'll teach this when we look at linear programming. So you are very much safe. I'll still reteach this from scratch. All right, I'll teach that one from scratch. Those who are in my WhatsApp group. All right, so that's the fourth inequality. Now let me use this one just to show that it will get the same. Okay, let me just use that one. So we use the same y minus y1 equal to m, open bracket, x minus x1. Okay, so what is our y? It's 0, y minus 0. Gradient is negative 3 over 4. X, what is our x1 is 8. So now we are multiplying. Y minus 0 is 0. Negative 3 over 4 times x is negative 3 over 4. Okay? Like that. Then we say negative 3 times negative 3 over 4 times negative 8, it is positive 24 over 4, because 3 times 8 is 24. Then so y is equal to negative 3 over 4x. My formula 24 is 6. You still find the same. All right, you still find the same. You still find the same. Question number 22. Question number 22. Jojo Kunda, how are you? Question number 22. Then we'll remain with one more. Then I can end the live as I'll be waiting for the Zambian match. Yeah. Mia, you're welcome. Exchange, you're welcome. Hamba, you're welcome. Joel, you're welcome. Hope, you're welcome. Question number 22A. Question number 22A is under calculus. Okay, it's under calculus. So we have been given y is equal to 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. You have seen that, right? Y is equal to 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. So they're saying find dy over dx. So the change in y over the change in x with respect to x is equal to, we multiply the coefficient times the exponent. So say 2 times 2, we get a 4. Then that 2 reduces by 1. It was 2, now becomes 1. 2 minus 1, it's 1. Here, this x, there's no power 0, there is 1. Now I have negative 4 times 1. I don't want to make it look like it's a division. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Then 1 minus 1 is 0. So we are going to have x to the power 0. And with calculus, if you're differentiating, a constant is always produce or gives out a 0. Every time if you're dealing with a constant, it gives a 0. So now in simplifying, we're going to have 4x, then x to the power 0. Any number raised to the power 0, it's 1. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. This is our answer. So 4x minus 4. Wamvera Naomi Banda, Melin Naido, Matthias, Gertrude, Pedro, God first. Okay, question number 22B. Estem, Joseph. Question number 22B. Question number 22B. Here we go. Okay, so it's asking us to find the coordinates of A and B, then later the minimum point on the graph, which is the same thing as turning point. So now look at this. We're going to use this equation of the same curve. So they're asking us to find the coordinate of A and B, but understand that A, it is in the negative part of x-axis, and B is in the positive side of x-axis. So whatever we find that as a positive value, that's for B, and that which we find for the negative value, that's for A. So our coordinates will be, all right, x, 0. Why are we putting y to be 0? Because we are finding roots in the x-axis. All right, so this one will be, again, x, 0. We are finding roots along the x-axis, so our y is 0. So using the same equation or function, we'll say x squared minus 2x minus 8, okay? And then we equate it to 0 because our y is 0. That y is equal to 0. Then after that, you can find the roots by using quadratic formula or factorization method, or whichever method you're comfortable with. So I'll use factorization method where I need to find the product, the sum, and the factors. So what will be my product? My product will be determined or will be identified by simply multiplying the coefficient of that x squared, which is 1 times negative 8. So 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. That's my product. My sum is just the coefficient of x, which is negative 2. I know somebody just saying, so does that mean f is negative 8? No, f is not negative 8. We have already exhausted that one. Yeah, Katie might use the bulldozer, which is the quadratic formula. It's okay. You can use that one. It's fine. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to look for two numbers such that if we multiply those two numbers, we should get negative 8. But if we add, we get negative 2. So the bigger number, of course, should carry a negative. Smaller number should carry a positive. So we are going to have negative 4 and 2, because those are the numbers that can give me 8 if I multiply. So negative 4 times 2. Negative 4 times 2, it's negative 8. Then negative 4 plus 2, it's negative 2. So this qualifies to be our factors. So I can just say negative 4x and 2x. Then I replace them there. I'll just say x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8 equal to 0. So I've just replaced the factors here where there was the negative 2x. Then I factorize the first part. What is common in the first part? X is common. So now I have x squared divided by x will remain with x. 2x divided by x, it is positive 2. What is common on the second part? Negative 4. Negative 4x divided by negative 4, it's x. Negative divided by negative is positive. 8 divided by 4 is 2, equal to 0. Okay. Then we are going to get these which are outside in one bracket, so it will be x minus 4. These factors in 1, then you have x plus 2 equate to 0. Then now what we're going to have is x minus 4 is equal to 0, or x plus 2 equal to 0. By active inverse, negative 4 go to the right side, it will make x is equal to positive 4. Then positive 2 on the right side, by active inverse it becomes negative 2, so we get negative 2. So like I said, a is in the negative, so this will be the coordinate for a, which is negative 2, 0. Right there, negative 2, 0. For b it will be 4, 0. For b it will be 4, 0. These are the coordinates for those roots, for those points. Okay, those are the coordinates. So we have negative 2, 0 and the 4, 0 for these. Yeah, these. We've seen this. So this is the negative side of the x-axis and the positive side of the x-axis. That's why our y was 0, because we are talking about points on the x-axis, which has nothing to do with the y-axis. The next question is saying find the minimum value, the minimum point on the graph. So the minimum point, it's at a point where the curve perhaps was dropping, then when it reached that point, it started picking up again. So let's say here's where our minimum point is. So this minimum point has the x, y as well. The minimum point has x, y coordinates. So now, using that same function, let's find that point. Let's find that point. So this time around, I'll bring back my y equal to 0, y equal to that. So I said we're finding x, y for that minimum point. So for my x, all right, for that x, we are going to use the x is equal to negative b over 2a. Then how do we identify? We identify what is our b. Our b is negative 2. And our a, it's the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. So we say x is equal to negative 2 over 2 multiplied by 1. So x is equal to negative times negative 2 is positive 2 over 2 times 1 is 2. So 2 divided by 2, we get 1. So we have found our x to be 1. Now what about for y? When finding for y, ladies and gentlemen, when finding for y, what we'll do, we'll get the same function. Where there is x, we are replacing with 1. So it will be 1 squared minus 2 multiplying by 1 minus 8. So that now y is equal to 1 squared is 1, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 minus 8. Y is equal to 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So negative 1 minus 8 definitely is -9 on the other AC, making our y to be -9. So the minimum point will be 1, -9. 1, -9 is our minimum point. All right, not so bad. Last more question, then I'll drop as I get to wait for the match against the Zambia versus Morocco. Okay, as I wait for the match, Zambia against Morocco. Question number 23, the last question. Let's read the question. Let me just bring it there. It's saying that the diagram, all right, the diagram below is the speed time graph of an object. The object starts from rest and accelerates uniformly for 2 seconds. So it accelerated uniformly for 2 seconds until it reached a speed of 10 meters per second. It then travels at this speed for 80 seconds. From 2 to that is 8, and from 0 to that is 10. Okay, I hope you understand. From 2 to 10 it's 8. All right, we have 8 seconds. Then from 0 to that is 10. So that's what they mean by 8 seconds. And finally deaccelerates to rest after 5 seconds. And of course, from 10 to 15, there's 5 seconds. Now let's answer the question that follows. The first one saying, find the retardation of the object in the last 5 seconds. So retardation and deacceleration is one and the same. So this is what we want. The retardation in the first 5 seconds. So how we can find retardation? We say retardation is equal to initial velocity minus final velocity over time taken. Initial velocity minus final velocity over time taken. So where did it start from? At what speed did it start from? It started from 10 meters per second. Then it went till it reached 0 meters per second. All right, so our initial will be 10 and our final velocity, which is 0 meters per second, will be 0. Within how many? 5 seconds. So we have 10 minus 0 over 5. Retardation is equal to 10 over 5. Then how many 5 are in 10? There are 2 meters per square seconds. So we are getting a positive for retardation because we have indicated that retardation is, okay, as the question demands. But if it asks us to find the acceleration in the last 5 seconds, it would have been in negative to show it deaccelerates. Okay, so we have managed to find that one. This is not it. Let's go to the next question. The next question now is saying that we should find the distance traveled in the first 10 seconds. The distance traveled in the first 10 seconds. So the first 10 seconds is from rest to this point. So the distance they're asking us to find is starting from this point till it reaches 10 seconds. So now how do we find this distance? We're going to use this. Okay, we use the trapezium, area of a trapezium. Okay, that area of a trapezium will help us as a distance. So distance is equal to half a plus b h. Okay, now we have distance equal to half. So what is our a? Our a is from 0 to 10. All right, from 0 to 10, that's our a. Plus our b is now this distance from this point to that, which is 8. So we have 0 to 10 and the 8. So our 8 will be there. Height, it's 10. So now it's a distance is equal to half 10 plus 8, it's 18, multiplying by 10. 2 half times 18, it's 9. So we have 9 times that 10, which will give us 90 meters. 90 meters is our answer. So the distance, all right, covered in the, or traveled in the first 10 seconds is 90 meters. Now, Vanamulungu, we are done. Let's do now the last part. Last part, Tina tree. It's saying find the average speed of the object for the whole journey. Interesting. The average speed of the object for the whole journey. Now, the interesting part is that for speed, we need distance over time taken. Okay, for the speed, we need distance over time taken. So we only know the distance from this point to that, which is 90, but we don't know this distance. So we need to find distance 2, which is, this is a triangle, all right? This is a triangle. So we use half times breadth times height. So now say half. What is our breadth? It is from 10 to 15, up to 5 seconds. So we have 5. Height, it is 10. Okay, then what we do, we say half times 5 times 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times half is 25. If you want, you can say 2 there, 1, 2 there, 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So the total distance now will be 90 plus that 25, which will give us 115. Now that we found the distance, I think it will be very safe for us to find now the whole journey, because now we say average speed 918. Average speed is equal to total distance, all right, total distance over total time taken. So what is our total distance? It's 115. The total time taken is from 0 to 15. I saw 15 for the whole journey. Where is it? Hey, yeah, it's from 0 to 15. So we divide by 15. Then now, ladies and gentlemen, to work this one out quickly, let's do this. Ma 15 muli 115 amwangat. We know that yari 6 ma 15 ni 90. Okay? Then tikafakirapo plus 15 it passes ngati 5105. So yarimo 7. All right? So 15 into 115, 7. Remember what? Remember 10. Okay? Ma 15 muri 10, it can't. Make it 100. Ma 15 muri 100, yarimo 6. All right? Because kai yarimo 6. So 90. Remember 10. So my 15 again, so we'll keep on having 6 like that. So our answer will be 7.7. All right, meters per second. See, that's how we answer such a question, my good friends. That's how we solve such. So to be 7.7 meters per second. Tomorrow, I'm starting at 21 hours by the grace of God and the mercies of our Lord Jesus Christ. So if you are coming to join us, please, you'll find us live at 21 hours. All right. So that's about that. If there is anyone who's planning to write GCE and wish to join our online classes, if there is anybody who wish to join our online classes, okay, perhaps you want to learn with us on mathematics and biology, you can WhatsApp me using this line. can WhatsApp me or call me direct using that line. I'll be able to respond and tell you the terms and conditions. Otherwise, this is where I need to drop. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your time. You guys have been nothing but the best, like always. I appreciate your coming. See you tomorrow. Where we get to, tomorrow we're starting a different paper altogether, like a complete paper. So I'd love you guys to be there. We are starting from question number 1 till where we'll end.